There's a post on Singapore Finance Reddit right now. 31-year-old male, permanent resident, asking if he can afford a condo. He's got the numbers, good income, savings, investments. Everything looks like it works on paper. But the comments are full of people pointing out what he's missing. The rental bridge, ABSD, MCST fees, property tax, moving costs. And I found this very interesting because when it comes to buying private property, the layperson is usually missing out on the stuff that doesn't show up in the loan calculator. I sell new launches. I've also seen walkthrough videos other agents put out. Upgrade using your CPF and sales proceeds of your HDB. Sounds great, but it's missing a few more things that the Reddit thread was commenting about. So let's get into those costs. Here's what almost every upgrader gets wrong. They look at the listing price, they check their savings, they calculate the monthly mortgage, and they think, I can afford this. That's it. That's where the thinking stops. The agent says,
your monthly mortgage is lower than what you're paying for your HDB now.
And you nod along because it sounds logical. But there's a massive gap between, I can get a loan for this, and I can actually live comfortably in this property. And nobody talks about that gap. Stamp duty, rent during the 3 to 4 year wait for a new launch, legal fees, moving costs, then moving costs again when the new place is ready. By the time you move in, you've already spent money you never put in the spreadsheet. And suddenly that affordable upgrade doesn't feel so affordable. The real price of a condo isn't what the developer lists it at. It's not even what you pay at signing. It's the sum of everything between the day you sign the option to purchase and the day you move in. Here are the 3 specific mistakes I see HDB upgraders make. Mistake 1, mistaking mortgage affordability for total affordability. You can afford the loan, but can you afford the lifestyle? A $650 monthly MCST fee on top of a $3,000 mortgage is a $3,650 monthly housing cost, not $3,000. That extra $7,800 a year matters. Mistake 2, ignoring the rental timeline. If you buy a new launch today, you will not move in for 3 years. You will rent during that time. Imagine the rent being $1,000 a month. So that's $36,000 gone. Not invested, not saved, gone. And you only realize this after you've signed. Mistake 3, falling in love before you actually check the numbers. The show unit is designed to make you feel something. The granite countertops, the floor-to-ceiling windows, the staging. You sign before you check the MCST fees, before you calculate the tax, before you run the full scenario. By the time the real costs surface, you are already committed. Every one of these mistakes is avoidable. So here's what you should do. Don't look at the monthly mortgage first. Look at what I call the total affordability calculation. Total affordability is not the listing price. It's not the down payment. It's the sum of every dollar you will spend from the day you sign the option to purchase to the day you're settled into your new home, plus the money your money could have made somewhere else. Here are the 5 numbers that go into it. Number 1, the rental trap. This is the biggest one and the most painful. New launch waiting period, 3 to 4 years. Resale bridging period, 3 to 6 months. Both require you to rent. Let's imagine the rent is $1,000 a month. 36 months, that's $36,000. 3 months is $3,000. Either way, money that you will never see again. Some clients tell me, I'll stay with my parents. Sure, that saves the cash, but it costs something else. Your mental energy, the family dynamics. So the fix, calculate the rental cost before you commit. If it stretches you too thin, adjust your timeline or your expectations. Number 2, MCST or maintenance fees. Everyone knows maintenance fees exist. Very few check them before they fall in love with that unit. Let's talk about reflections at Keppel Bay, for example. There's 1,100 plus units. Land is huge. Glass towers that, they need cleaning every year. The lifts that go up to level 45 get used a lot. Concierge, security, groundskeepers. A 2-bedroom unit at Reflections is about 1,000 square feet. Roughly comes to about $650 per month before GST. Now compare that to a smaller, more efficient development. You could be paying half that. So always check the MCST fee before you let yourself fall in love with that unit. Number 3, the tax ambush. If you buy a resale condo but don't move in immediately, perhaps you rent it out first, you will pay non-owner occupied property tax. Of course, that is a rate that is much higher than owner occupied. And for expats, the situation gets even more complex when it comes to additional buyer stamp duty, proof of income requirements, remittance rules. Each situation is genuinely different. The universal lesson here is understand your tax situation before you decide what to buy. The wrong purchase structure can cost you tens of thousands of dollars. Number 4, the moving chain. If you're optimizing for profit, the ideal path looks like this. You buy a new launch or a resale condo, continue to live in your HDB, or you continue to rent for 3 years, collect your keys, you live in it for about 2 to 3 years, you sell, upgrade again, or downsize with a comfortable pot of cash. That's 2 or 3 moves in 5 to 7 years. Each move costs money, movers, renovation,
New furniture, agent fees, legal fees, stamp duty again, and the mental energy, packing up your life, finding a rental that works for you, dealing with landlords, managing contractors for the new place.
Most people tell me they want their condo to be an investment. But when I lay out the move that actually maximizes profit, then they hesitate.
That means I have to move so many times?
Yes, each move requires more cost. So ask yourself, is the profit worth the dislocation? Number 5, the opportunity cost sink. This is the one that nobody talks about because you can't see it. It's not a bill, it's not a fee, it's the money your money could have made somewhere else. Just for illustration purposes, let's imagine that 31-year-old permanent resident male on the subreddit thread. We'll call him Xavier. Let's pretend that Xavier can afford a private property. So here's the cost of what happens when he takes action. He pays $500,000 down payment. At a conservative 5% return, that's $25,000 per year. Over 5 years, that's $125,000 he's potentially not earning. Xavier continues to rent at his current place for about $1,000 a month while waiting for his private property that is ready in 3 years. $36,000 in rental while waiting for his private property. What if that went into investments instead? Now, can Xavier say that he is comfortable with all of this opportunity cost sink? On the other hand, there's the cost of inaction. Xavier decides that yes, he's okay with the opportunity cost sink we've discussed earlier, but for whatever reason, he wants to wait for a better price. But every month he waits, private property prices will continue to move. Let's pretend that the condo he wants is an OCR listed for about $1.5 million. Based on the 5% historical annualized growth rate for OCR properties, here is how much Xavier can expect to pay for the condo for every year he waits. At age 31, $1.5 million. Age 32, that price goes up. Age 33, that price goes up again. Age 34, 35, and then age 36. So essentially, in 5 years, that same condo could cost more, while the $500,000 that sat in his savings account earning 2.5% earned him $125,000. Not to mention, waiting does not just increase the purchase price, it also alters your financing options due to MAS regulations. The trap of wait and see is not that you pay rent while you wait. It's that the appreciation you miss out on widens the gap between what you can afford now and what's available. Today's price is the cheapest the condo will ever be. Not because it's a deal, because prices in Singapore have only gone one direction over the long term. I'm not saying you should buy a condo tomorrow. I'm saying you deserve the full picture. Now, I sell new launches, and I would never recommend one to someone who hasn't run the total affordability calculation. A condo is not for the average median income earner, no matter what the agent walkthrough videos tell you. Sometimes the best financial move is to wait, to save more, to invest the difference, to buy when the numbers actually work in your favor. But sometimes the cost of inaction is higher than the cost of buying, and only you can decide which one you can afford. Before you upgrade, sit down and calculate the total affordability, not just the mortgage and the down payment, the rental, the maintenance, the taxes, the moving costs, the opportunity cost, and the cost of inaction. If all of that still works, then you're making an informed decision. If it doesn't, then there's no shame in waiting, in building more financial flexibility before you take the leap. What do you guys think? Let me know in the comments. And if you are thinking of upgrading, I run the total affordability calculation for every client I meet before we even look at a single unit. Just send me a DM. Or you can also download the HDB Upgraders Edge for free. And if this video helped you out, hit the subscribe button. So until then, I'll see you in the next one.